You have been to the same coworking meetup 4 times. You recognize the people at the welcome table, and you still feel like the person standing beside the group instead of inside it. You smile, exchange a couple of handles, ask how long everyone is in town, and then walk home thinking, why am I still a guest here?
That feeling is brutal, and it can get in your head fast.
Yeah, especially when the city looks welcoming from the outside. There are cafes full of people, group dinners on every event app, and photos of strangers laughing on rooftops. But you are sitting in your apartment with a half-finished client proposal, wondering whether going out again will help or just make you feel rejected in a more interesting location.
And before anyone decides I must be socially defective, let's slow that thought down. Sometimes the problem is not that you need to become more impressive. Sometimes you are attending spaces without having a repeatable way to participate in them.
Exactly. You are present, but people have not had enough ordinary moments with you to know where you fit. That is different from being unwanted.
Welcome to the Nomad Love and Community Podcast, Episode 10. I'm Sophia Chen with James Mitchell. Today we're tackling how to become part of a nomad community without chasing belonging, so you can build stronger relationships and community while living the nomad life.
And the idea we are testing today is simple. Stop treating every gathering like an audition. Instead, bring one small, useful, repeatable contribution.
We call that the contribution signal. It is not a grand gesture. It is not buying everyone dinner, taking over the group chat, or proving that you are the most connected person in the room. It is a small signal that says, I notice this space, I care about participating, I can offer something appropriate, and I also have limits.
Okay, but the phrase, be useful, makes me nervous. It can sound like belonging is something you purchase with labor.
Good. It should make you nervous if it means serve everyone until they finally accept you. That is not what we mean.
So the difference is not usefulness by itself. It is mutual participation. You offer something small, you observe whether the space responds, and you do not keep increasing the offer just because nobody has invited you into the inner circle yet.
Yes, belonging is not a wage you earn by being indispensable. You are already worthy of connection. Contribution simply gives people more chances to experience you over time.
And that time element matters. One brilliant conversation can be lovely, but familiarity is usually built through the boring, ordinary stuff. Someone sees you arrive. You remember their name. You ask how the presentation went. They notice that you come back, even when you are not trying to dominate the room.
Right. Presence beats perfection. The first part is choosing one place to return to. 1, not 7. Nomads are spectacular at collecting options. We find the language exchange, the founder breakfast, the climbing group, the co-working lunch, the beach cleanup, and the dinner for people who say they hate networking. Suddenly, our calendar looks like a desperate attempt to out-network loneliness.
That calendar is exhausting just to hear about.
Exactly. You do not need the most impressive room. You need a room you can realistically revisit. If you have a heavy travel week, a recurring co-working lunch may work better than a 3-hour evening event. If you have a red-eye coming up, choose the Saturday run that starts at 10 instead of the sunrise hike that makes you resent friendship by 6:15 a.m.
That is a useful decision rule. Pick the community space that fits your actual energy, not the imaginary version of you who sleeps 8 hours, finishes work early, and never has laundry in the sink.
Then attach the visit to a queue. Every Wednesday after your first work block. Every Saturday after breakfast. The queue matters because it removes one exhausting question. Do I feel socially brave today? You do not need to renegotiate your entire identity before every event. You just follow the next small appointment.
But keep the appointment small. Showing up for 30 minutes, greeting 2 people, and leaving before your battery is empty still counts.
It absolutely counts. Consistency does not mean unlimited availability. If you turn community into another performance metric, You will start tracking attendance instead of connection.
And sometimes preparation helps you use those 30 minutes well. I think people here just show up consistently and assume preparation does not matter at all. I think,
As long as we are careful not to turn appearance into an entrance exam.
Exactly. I mean, readiness, not polish. Connection is not a reward for perfect skin, perfect clothes, or perfect energy. But if a shower, a clean shirt, water, and a real meal help you feel more awake and less self-conscious, those are useful tools for your comfort.
I agree with the readiness point. I just want to protect the person listening who is exhausted, dealing with a different body, or arriving in a city with very little money and very little privacy. They do not need to look a certain way to deserve a conversation.
Absolutely. Use what helps, skip what does not. My portable reset is hair, face, breath, shirt, shoes. Then water, shoulders down, jaw unclenched. Otherwise, I walk into a social event looking like I am about to negotiate a hostage release.
That is a very tense contribution signal.
it is. So I drop my shoulders and remind myself I am not here to win the room. I am here to notice one person. That tiny change takes the pressure off.
My version is hydrate, eat something with protein, wash my face, put on clothes I can comfortably move in, and take 2 slow breaths before I walk through the door. Small daily habits create magnetic presence, but not because they turn you into a product. They make more of your attention available for another human being.
That is the important part. Attention. If you arrive dehydrated, hungry, and mentally still inside a client call, the most elegant outfit in the world will not make you feel connected.
Now, once you are there, what does contribution actually sound like? Because a lot of people say, "Let me know if you need anything," and they mean it kindly.
But it is so broad that the other person has to invent a job for you.
Right. Try making the offer specific and easy to decline. I am heading to the market after this. Would extra coffee help the table? Or, I have a short list of quiet places for client calls. Would you like me to send it? The person can say yes, no, or not now without managing your feelings.
And put a boundary on it. I can stay for 10 minutes to help set up. I can introduce you to one person. I can share the template, but I cannot customize it this week. Generosity and self-respect are allowed to appear in the same sentence.
Wait, say that again? Generosity and self-respect.
Can be in the same sentence. Yes, you can be kind without becoming permanently available.
And observe what happens next. Does the group make room for your ideas? Do people remember details about you? Does someone sometimes initiate? Or are you always the one carrying the connection? Mutuality can grow slowly, but over time it should become visible.
Because loneliness can make overgiving feel like progress. You bring snacks, create the group chat, solve the venue problem, and answer everybody's questions. Then you realize nobody knows what you need.
That is not a contribution signal. That is disappearing into service.
So let's put this into a real scene. Maya is working remotely in Lisbon. She has attended this same coworking meetup 4 times. She arrives on time, sits near the wall, answers work messages during the social part, and leaves before anyone can ask a second question.
Maya is not doing anything wrong. The wall is giving her emotional shelter, and after a full workday, shelter can be useful.
Exactly. So she does not make a dramatic promise to become outgoing. She gives herself one manageable experiment. She arrives 10 minutes early, gets water, and asks the host, "Is there one small thing I can do to help tonight?"
Let's act that out, because the wording matters. Hi, I have been coming for a few weeks, and I wanted to ask whether there is one small thing that would make tonight easier.
As the host, thanks for asking. I think we have setup covered, but the name tags are over there if you want to arrange them.
And Maya can say, "Sure, I can do that for 5 minutes." Notice the limit. She does not say, I will manage the whole welcome system forever.
Then she has a natural opening when people arrive. Hi, I am Maya. I am helping with the name tags tonight. That is not a sales pitch. It gives someone an easy response.
And what if the host says, "No thanks, we are all set"?
Then Maya does not collapse. She says, "No problem. I will grab some water and say hello to the early arrivals." Her offer was reversible. A no was simply information, not a verdict on her worth.
That is such an important piece. Contribution includes observing first. Ask what would help. Choose something small. Let the group consent to your involvement. You are participating with people, not performing a service for them.
The next week, Maya brings one quiet cafe recommendation for people who need calls. She does not announce it to the room like a traveling office consultant. She mentions it when another member asks where people work between meetings.
Then she follows up with one person she genuinely enjoyed talking to. Not everyone, one person. I liked our conversation about changing cities. Would you like to grab coffee next week? That is direct, warm, and not overly loaded.
And if they say they are busy, she has learned something without making the whole meetup a referendum on her social future.
After a few weeks, Maya becomes familiar. Not famous, not the unofficial event director, familiar. People know she works remotely, they know she likes quiet cafes, and they know she asks thoughtful questions. That is often how confidence grows, through repeated evidence that you can enter a room, participate, and remain yourself.
It also gives her better things to talk about than, "So, how long are you in town?" Useful question, but after the 15th version, your soul starts looking for an emergency exit.
Try, what has made this city feel easier for you? Or what is something you would repeat here and something you would skip? Those questions invite a story instead of a resume.
And when someone gives you a real answer, stay with it. Do not immediately respond with your own travel story. Ask, "What happened next?" Or, "How did you find that place?" Deep conversation is often less about producing a brilliant question and more about not rushing away from the first honest answer.
That is where communication becomes contribution too. Attention is something you can offer without exhausting yourself. You do not have to be the funniest person in the room. You can be the person who listens closely enough for someone to feel less alone for 10 minutes.
But choose your room carefully. Some communities welcome new people only when new people do all the work. If every offer becomes an obligation, if your boundaries are treated as a problem, or if no one ever shows curiosity about you, that is not a challenge to contribute harder.
It may simply be the wrong community. You attract what you become, yes, but you also need to become discerning about what you are joining. A healthy group does not require you to abandon your energy, your schedule, or your personality to prove that you belong.
Strong habits create strong connections. Strong habits also include recovery and the ability to say, "I cannot take that on right now."
So let's make the next week very practical. Choose one community space that is accessible and reasonably aligned with your interests. Put one return visit on your calendar. Decide in advance what your small version of attendance looks like, especially if travel or work makes the week unpredictable.
Before you go, use a 2-minute readiness routine. Drink water. Eat if you need food. Change into something comfortable if that helps. Check your shoulders and jaw. Then choose one conversation question and one specific contribution.
During the visit, make one offer that is small, reversible, and easy to decline. Welcome one newcomer. Share one resource when it is relevant. Help with one defined task. Or simply ask the host what would be useful for 5 minutes.
Then have one conversation, using a question that invites a story. Afterward, record 3 things: how your energy felt, whether the exchange felt mutual, and whether you felt more like yourself.
Do not record how many people admired you. Do not count contacts like trophies. We are looking for useful information about fit, energy, and connection.
And if the answer is no, that is information, not failure. Maybe the group was not your group. Maybe your contribution was too large. Maybe you needed sleep more than social exposure that day.
Let's optimize you from the inside out, not push you into a room and call exhaustion personal growth.
And if you want guided support, join our Nomad Love and Community course. Open the course, complete the community audit, choose your 7-day field test, and practice the exact habit, confidence, and communication steps we discussed today.
You will not be told to become louder, slicker, or endlessly available. You will build a repeatable system for showing up, communicating clearly, protecting your energy, and finding relationships that can actually be mutual.
This week, do not chase belonging. Return once. Prepare in a way that helps you feel comfortable. Offer one small thing with a clear limit. Ask one question that lets another person be more than their location and job title.
That's our practical advice for today. Building strong connections is part of building a successful nomad life. Your value was never dependent on performing for acceptance, and you do not have to earn the right to be cared about.
Presence beats perfection. Bring something real. Keep it bounded. And give people the chance to meet you over time.
Optimize yourself. Connect deeper. Live freer.